this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
If you live in the college football universe, the reality is right now it is Kurt Signetti's world, and everybody else is just existing. I mean, the guy, 2 years ago, nobody knows who he is. Now he's the third highest paid coach in college football.
He's replaced Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Like Saban went to game day and did all that.
That's
retired,
right.
And we were all, Saban was the standard. Today, it's Kurt Signetti at Indiana.
Last year, I forget who it was that was supposedly courting him a year ago at the end of the season. And I can remember he said, "Why would I leave? We're the emerging power in college football." and it was like, it was almost laugh out loud funny. The way he said it.
This guy has such, bravado's almost like fake. People will call it fake.
Right.
But you get what I'm saying when I say bravado. This guy just walks into a place and he's like, I know it looks like a dump, but in a year it's going to look like
right.
Caesar's Palace.
Isn't this the greatest thing in the world? I mean, everything. I win. Google me.
Yeah.
And, and it's just
he just reeks of confidence.
You got to be happy for the guy. I mean, first off, for all us old guys out there, he finally gets a Power 4 shot at 62. He's late to the party. He's got a lot to say. And it's almost like every day you say, what took you people so long to realize that I know what I'm doing?
Somebody's listening right now that's not even sure who Kurt Signetti is.
Yeah, he's the head football coach at Indiana.
But most of us that follow college football know by now, and college football is the ultimate prisoner of the moment.
Oh, no question.
Is there any other sport that is more prisoner of the moment?
Let's not think about the fact he'll be over 70 by the time this contract expires, and they're still going to owe him money. We can deal with that down the road. Right now, he's the man.
Let's listen to what he said on his coach's show last night. Okay,
right.
So he's making, was it 11.8 a year now? Yes. I didn't
11.8.
realize he was already making $8.3 million a year.
Indiana's a rich school. You don't think about that, but, they've got the largest alumni base, I think, of any state university out there. And they really do support their athletics.
Short recap, okay? I'm sorry if I'm boring you, but maybe it's necessary.
No, it's okay.
Kurt Signetti gets the job at Indiana. Nobody cares. Other than he says, Google me at his press conference.
Yeah,
and
I
that
win.
got attention.
Yeah.
Google me, I win. People were like, well, tell us more about you. Google me, I win. That's what he said at his news conference.
So big.
And then he brings in a bunch of players from James Madison. Not that anybody was going to care because it's Indiana. They're like, well, they're not going to win anyhow. Then they go to the college football playoff, and we make fun of their schedule. Everybody, the whole country makes fun of their schedule. They're not very good. Then they come back this year. Okay, well, it's a one and done type deal. It's he's going to have a 1 year wonder, a one hit wonder guy. And here they are again. They go to Oregon, who's one of the favorites to win it all, and they absolutely look like the better team the whole game.
Oregon hadn't lost a home game since 2022.
They're great. They're a good team, really good team.
Yes,
and.
Unbeatable.
Now, Indiana looks like, well, it doesn't really matter what their schedule is. These guys are legit. And then James Franklin gets fired. Jim Franklin.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy gets fired at Penn State. And,
old Jimmy.
And Signetti's name is the first name everyone talks about. And the Indiana president and AD said, not so fast, my friend. Let's just get this deal done right now. I don't have the details of the contract, like buyout, whatever, but I don't get the feeling that Signetti wants to go anywhere.
He's going to retire there.
He wants
he's
to do
64
something.
now, 63 and a half.
He wants
whatever.
to do things that have never been done before.
He already has.
He wants to continue doing that and make Indiana his thing, not go do it where you're already at a traditional power or somebody that's considered to be that. And so then last night, by the way, quick other background here. Signetti was a Saban assistant, and 11 years ago, something like that.
He spent some time at Alabama.
He went to be a D2 head coach. So he basically took a step down in college football terms, like in career ladder-wise. He took a step down.
You make less as a D2 head coach than a GA
That's right.
in Alabama.
That's right.
This is the truth.
So yesterday, he's doing his coach's show, and they've announced, he's got this new deal, nearly $12 million a year, and they announce it at his coach's show. And here's what he says.
I'll make it. You want me to do that? I'm going to be the head coach of UNLV next year. I'll be here.
Well, that's the wrong clip.
Yeah.
That
was Dan Mullen.
Even though
I just want you to know 10 years ago, I was making about $130,000, okay? Yeah, I know. And it was reserved then too, folks, just so you know.
last year, or 10 years ago, I was making $130,000 a year.
I watched the video of that, and you see him walking in. It's not unlike when, our coaches have walked into the catfish hole, and he's walking in, and, everybody's standing up, just like they do here. And thank you. He's waving to the crowd, shakes a couple of hands and sits down, and their guy's name's Don Fisher, and he goes through all the same stuff everybody else does. And then you heard Signetti there, but I'm sure he was living the dream.
Listen to all these people.
I just want you to know 10 years ago, I was making about $130,000, okay? Yeah, I know.
Now, there's about 7 or 8 people in that crowd who go, man, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, well,
$130,000 a year. He talked about $130,000
like
a year.
Nothing.
Like it was $25,000.
Yeah. It's a big difference between that and 11.8, though.
Jeez. Now he's making more than that every 2 weeks.
Well, yeah. I mean,
what is going on? People say this, and then in moments like this, you have to agree with them. College football's drunk, like continuously drunk. Like college football needs to go to rehab. We thought this whole money thing was going to change with rev share. We were idiots. Well, I'm putting myself at the front of the list. I'm a complete moron for thinking that we were going to slow down spending on coaches.
No.
When the players started getting paid and athletic directors come out and say we have a $20.5 million deficit that we've got to raise money for, and we've got to cut positions, and we got to have people do 3 jobs instead of 1 now. My idiot self thought, you know what? We're going to finally slow this train down where coaches are getting paid. And I forgot to call Jimmy Sexton and ask him if that was true. Because it's not.
He's got other ideas, I bet.
It's not. Do you know how many guys are going to get this kind of raise this year? I mean, if you get in the college football playoff this year, you're getting Signetti money.
Well, yes.
Do you know how many guys are going to get a raise off that Penn State job? You know how many guys are going to get a raise off the Arkansas job? This is the other thing about the coaching search. There are going to be guys that talk to Arkansas that are never coming here. They're just going to get a raise. Every time. College football just does this to itself. And you know who's left trying to figure it all out and frustrated? The fans.
They're the ones paying for it. That's the
donors.
Every time I hear someone say, well, they just need to empty the pockets and go get that guy, it's your pockets they're going to empty. I mean, they're going to reach into your pockets and get your money.
People get upset when we get on here and talk about, well, like it's Arkansas and everybody's got to, try to find a way to raise the money and pitch in. And it's like, quit asking us for money. And you're blaming it on us if we don't. And we're not really trying to blame you. We're just telling you.
If I was a fan,
the money comes from.
If I was a fan, there would be many, many days when I would think, quit asking me for money. I have to be honest.
Well, we know these people.
There are many days
you and I
would be
both
saying
have
that.
friends that have money, who donate, who have skyboxes, who are big in the Razorback Foundation, who have lots of tickets, and they're tired. They're fatigued. And when you get to be 50, 60, 70 years old, do you know what you really enjoy doing? Relaxing. You know what you don't enjoy doing? Figuring out a way to get in and out of the game, get up to your box, host a bunch of people, deal with all the things that come with it when you're a 500 football team.
Well, see, that's just it. It's that last sentence right there. I doubt if anybody in Indiana, and I wouldn't be either. If I was an Indiana Hoosiers fan, I wouldn't care at all about what other people are saying about the money and who's going to pay for it. I wouldn't give a rip. We're winning at football. Life can't be better. And that's fun, and people are willing to pay for it. And there are some large fan bases out there that are and alumni groups that have a lot of money, and Indiana's one of them.
America's team, the Indiana Hoosiers.
Kurt Signetti's America's
We got to
coach.
find this, Edward. I didn't think about it earlier because I didn't think it was that interesting. But to hear Signetti talking about loving being a Hoosier, just is kind of comical because you've never heard it before. Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? When you're a football player, I want to be a Hoosier. Like Indiana basketball is not even good anymore.
Well, Indiana football has replaced Indiana basketball.
Is Indiana
now,
a football school?
Who ever thought you would have ever heard anyone say that?
Hey, Indiana's a football school now. I want to tell you something else. Look out for the Big Ten.
Well, now, what would make you say that?
They've got all the money in the world, and they're really serious and have kind of figured out football. I mean, the private equity, the infusion of hundreds of millions of dollars for their schools, the universities realizing how it can help admission, how it can grow their bottom line overall, like Saban did when he was winning at Alabama for them. I mean, if you go back and do the research on the enrollment at Alabama and the money that came into Alabama pre-Saban and then throughout Saban's tenure, and the Big Ten's like, we can play this game. And while Bart always says they may be foolish when it comes to knowing what's best for college football, they're going to have some winning teams. And for a while there, it was Ohio State. And now it's going to flip, I think. And the SEC is going to not be as dominant when it comes to the postseason as the Big Ten. I'm just telling you down the road. I mean, let's just look at this.
They still have to get really good players throughout that league.
If we've talked about this before, when you're paying players,
they've got to come south and get
when you're paying players.
That's
okay,
what I'm saying, Chuck.
Hey, would you rather live in Baton Rouge, Tuscaloosa, Athens, or Columbus, or any
of those places over Columbus?
Indiana's a great place to live. Not far from Indianapolis.
Cold up there.
But from a diversity and bigger cities and things to do and places to go. I'm just telling you, the Big Ten is set up to win when it's all about the money. The South was really set up great when it was all about cheating.
Well, it was about the money then, too. It was about the money then, too.
Yes, but you couldn't get it everywhere else. Well, they weren't as organized as churches in the South.
I think the Big Ten's still going to struggle top to bottom to get really, really good players. I mean, Ohio State's a great program. We know that. Like, we know that they're a great program. Who else?
But it's been, Indiana is one of them.
Okay,
Matt Rule goes to Penn State.
With all due respect to Indiana, and I truly mean that, because what Kurt Signetti has done there is incredible. We still don't have any idea how good they really are.
Well, I'm not arguing that.
We still don't have any clue.
I'm not arguing that.
I'm going to assume that they're really good, and I'm going to assume that they're in the midst of what I would think minimum will be a 5 to 7 year run as a really good college football program. But now to mention them in the same breath with Ohio State or Michigan, they're not in that stratosphere yet, because this is what makes it so special.
I think
it's the first time in 100 years.
Maybe not overall. I think they are this year.
Right, but when you project long term, as you were doing, I don't know that you can put Indiana in that group yet. And look, it's not like the SEC is going to sit back and let the Big Ten just run wild. This has been monkey see, monkey do throughout. One gets a TV network, the other one gets a TV network, the other one gets a better TV deal, and then the next deal makes the other conference's TV deal better. It's not going to stop. The SEC is going to come up with a plan.
The thing to keep in mind, too, and this is just kind of lurking in the background of all these conversations, is that within the next 5 to 10 years, college football is going to look completely different than it does today.
Okay,
it's going to look completely different.
When's the last time the SEC won the national championship? 2022.
Yeah.
Okay. So 23, 24, 25. Who's going to win it this year?
I would say an SEC team or Ohio State.
So again, like you're
Look,
looking at,
nobody from outside the SEC or the Big Ten is winning another national championship, probably, for at least for the foreseeable future.
What about Memphis?
I'd agree with that.
I'd
agree with that. Hey, what if Indiana plays an SEC
Clemson's
team
done.
in the playoff?
Clemson is done.
No. What if Indiana? Let's just talk about your heart for a minute.
Sure.
Playoff time.
Yeah.
Indiana's taking on an SEC team. Who are you rooting for?
Well, you're rooting for the SEC.
You're lying. The ball game's going to unfold. You're going to like Kurt Signetti.
Well, if it's
you're
Texas,
going to look over on the sideline and you're going to pull for him.
If it's Texas, I'm rooting
Texas
for
isn't
Indiana.
even in the conference.
Well, I'm just saying, if it's Texas, I'm rooting for Indiana.
What if it's Georgia?
What if it's LSU?
I'm rooting for Georgia.
What if
man.
it's your beloved Alabama Crimson Tide, Bart?
I'm rooting for Alabama.
See, I don't know that I can. I think I've crossed the threshold.
Yeah, you're a Signetti.
No,
you're a Sig guy.
no.
Give me a Sig. Give
I'm
me a
not
Kurt
just talking
Sig.
about Signetti. I'm talking about when I watch other SEC teams play now, I don't root for them like I used to. I used to root for all of them.
No, there's some I don't root for.
I don't root for many of them anymore.
I'm with you.
I don't root for many of them anymore.
No,
I got to admit.
I don't root.
I don't
for
feel the
Texas,
brotherhood.
Obviously,
I don't feel the brotherhood.
I've never rooted for Florida.
I don't feel the same love from them
same love.
that we give.
That's right.
The ball is not bouncing
We
back.
are full of love. Dang it!
I
and
wanna be
these
loved
teams
back.
don't love us
We've
back.
loved them more than they've loved us.
It's Friday. We got to hit a
The
break.
love tariff.
6:19. Good morning.
Bo.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want real action, and the wait is over. Live racing is back. Every weekend brings big moments, big crowds, and your chance to feel the thrill of a big win. The holiday racing season begins Friday, December 12th, and runs through January 4th. Then, the excitement returns with the classic racing season, January 30th through May 2nd. It's racing, it's winning, it's everything you've been waiting for. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like walk-ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. It's home away from home. The two best guys in mediocre sports radio.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
can we just admit that a lot of these national college football media guys just have no earthly idea what they're talking about? All this stuff that you hear, it doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing. Less now than ever before, I think. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to this show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We're going to get on the phones here. Arkansas is hosting A&M, 2:30 ESPN. We'll get into the forecast coming up. We'll get into the game a little bit, but it's all about coaching right now. It's all about salaries. It's all about how drunk college football is. Prisoners of the moment. Just throw money at coaches because they give us hope. I mean, it's like, imagine, back in the Bible days, like Noah was building the ark and nobody believed in him, but like if we've got these people just ready to be led and looking for a coach to lead them, and pretend that everybody wanted on the ark and they're just lining up to just give me hope. Show me it's going to be something amazing. Show me the way, coach. Here's $11.89 million. Here's $12 million. Here's $15 million. When's the first $20 million coach coming?
Oh, it won't be long.
I mean, what are we talking, a year, 2 years?
Oh, I can remember when
$20 million
$10 million
coach
just seemed outrageous. I mean, it'll never happen. And the first time I heard that Saban was making $10 million, I'm like, I got to see that contract. I don't really believe that. By God, he was. I mean, it's just incredible.
We'll get into this as it relates to Arkansas here in a minute. Let me take JR's call. It's Friday morning. JR, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Okay. How are you?
Feeling
Good.
poor. Feeling
Good.
very, very poor this morning.
Everybody's
How are you?
getting rich but us.
Yeah.
I know. See, we're the ones up early trying to sort out all the problems in the coaching world. So
Kurt Signetti's up early, too. He had to talk to his financial planner today.
yeah, that's a tough conversation to have, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
where are all the
you know
tax
what?
breaks?
Yeah. You know what? I think that this is probably a good time to intervene here and say that every Razorback fan, in my opinion, should be really pushing that Bobby Petrino gets this job, because potentially that could free up more money. I mean, we don't have to go buy anybody. He's already there. So, I mean, as far as the money goes, and we all know the money rules it, so, there's potentially no buyout. I'm assuming there's no buyout. I'm sure that there's going to be.
You're not having to pay him anything to buy him out.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that could free up more money to go get more players. I mean, that's what this all boils down to. So he's a coach. He is a coach. There's a difference in those players. They understand everything goes through him. We all know that is his bread and butter. He is a coach. Can he recruit? I think he can. Does he have the people to donate the money? I think there's people up there that want him in there. I just look at it from the money standpoint, because that's what it all boils down to, is what money can you bring in. So.
Yeah, no, it does. But beyond that, okay, that you make a good point. Like what coaches are you going to go get that you want that you don't have to pay $10 million to? And then also, what coaches are you going to pay that they want to be here and they're really going to do it like they want to be here, and if they win, they're going to want to stay here? Because there are a lot of coaches out there that would love to have this job because it's either A, the best job they've ever had, B, the most money they can make at this current point in their career, or C, they're just trying to use it to get somewhere else. If you've got somebody that you think is going to be able to, and then the last part of that, and maybe the most important part, is you got to have somebody that can come in here and ignite people, that's going to be able to raise money, not just the hope of fans, but they got to raise money with donors. They got to be able to communicate with donors. They got to be able to talk to them about a plan, and they got to figure out a path, a vision that people are going to get on board with. When you start looking at that as criteria, and then you want to throw in, they need to have SEC experience too, how big is that pool, really? Now, the other thing to consider is how many other jobs are open. Now, when you start putting this all out, like if we were having a whiteboard session, we all love that, and you get it all on the board, and you got all the names over here on the right and all those things I just talked about on the left. How many names over here on the right of all the people you think and talk about are going to check any of these boxes on the left? I mean, now all
There's
of a
not
sudden,
going to be many.
Now all of a sudden you go from all these names that get thrown around to a very small group. I'm talking less than maybe 5. And then you got to fight these other schools for those guys.
It's not as easy as it sounds.
I'm just telling you, like,
that's how the candidate pool dwindles. That's what happened last time. I think it's going to be bigger this time, but I don't know how much.
When people tell me that Petrino has to win 4 games or 3 games, I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, why? You think that guy can coach or not? Do you think he can raise money? Or those are the questions to answer.
See, I think that's an interesting point. It's almost as though these next games are like, let's get these pesky games out of the way so we can get on with the rebuild.
It's really,
and but Petrino is a known commodity. And I don't think that people who want him to be the head coach, I don't think their minds are going to be changed by what happens over the next 6 weeks, unless it just completely falls apart, which I don't believe is going to happen, just for the record. I don't see a lot of movement in where people are in how they feel about him. People either want him back and they want to get through this season to let him do what he wants to do, or they're ready to, chart a new path forward, so to speak. So, but I think that's an interesting way to talk about it, because I don't think that when it comes to Petrino, I think everyone has their mind made up. And some of it's just like because of what JR said a minute ago.
Yeah. I just had an interesting sort of thought, I guess. Bart would take Dan Mullen. Okay. If Dan Mullen and
he's one of the hot names too.
We'll get into Dan Mullen in a second.
I hear he can't
but
wait
I
to
just
get
want
here.
I want to propose something to you, Bart. And it's kind of rhetorical, but you can give me your thoughts. Okay, Dan Mullen comes to Arkansas. Bobby Petrino gets the UNLV head coaching job. So you've essentially traded
who wins more games,
Dan Mullen for Bobby Petrino. And in 5 years, here's what I believe. Arkansas is going to be hiring another coach. And I like Dan Mullen. It's nothing against Dan Mullen. But what kind of connection does Dan Mullen have to Arkansas fans, donors? What kind of belief does he inspire in Arkansas fans and donors?
He should inspire some belief because he won at Mississippi State, and nobody wins at Mississippi State.
Dude, he won at Mississippi State in what year?
But Bobby Petrino
how
won
long ago
here.
was that?
He won here. People,
he won
right
at
in front of their
Mississippi
eyes.
State before Petrino was winning here. Like, that's how long ago that was. Or no, a little after that.
That's not true.
A little after that. No,
I think
he was
Mullen's
still
a
the
good
coach when
coach.
Bielema was
Mullen's
here.
a good coach.
And Florida made a mistake by firing him too. He's a really good football coach.
Well, we can all get up and say that, but when Dan Mullen comes in, Dan Mullen doesn't feel like, wow, let's hire that guy. I mean,
look, he's not at the top of my list, but I'd take him.
What I'm proposing is he gets the Arkansas job. I'm just saying, in theory, this could happen. Because and here's how I got to this point. Is Bobby Petrino a candidate for anybody else? And by the way, that doesn't affect me in terms of whether I think he should be the coach here. I think he's a great candidate here. Fit is a big part of that in terms of people knowing him, having won here, all that. Well, if you're UNLV.
Well, maybe a place like
and they lost Barry Odom and then Dan Mullen.
Maybe a place like UNLV, sure.
So in 5 years, where are both of those programs going to be with Mullen at Arkansas? It's a rhetorical. I'm not really, but think about that. Think about that while you sip on a Flight by Yingling later today. Like, not now. It's 6:33.
Well, I mean,
95 calories, tastes like a Yingling, but it's a light beer. Ask for it when you're at Walk-Ons watching the games this weekend. Great place to watch the games. By the way, Joe Flacco immediately in the Hall of Fame for his efforts last night. Congratulations to Bart and his Bengals and his degenerative bet that you guys don't know about.
Oh, really?
Oaklawn Sports.
Yeah.
I'm in Bart's office late yesterday afternoon. Bart and I are here late, Chuck.
He was betting alone.
He said, "You want to hear the most degenerative bet of the night for tonight?" And of course, I just immediately sat up in my chair.
Sure.
And said, "Well, yeah, share it with me." And Bart said,
take Aaron Rodgers over 0.5 rushing yards.
How many did he have?
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm watching the game, having dinner with Kara.
I said,
and I saw Aaron Rodgers run for like 5 yards in a little scramble
Counting
situation.
the money?
And I said,
Cha-ching.
one carry for 6 yards.
I said, hey, baby, a text is coming in 3, 2, 1.
great.
Bang, there it was.
That's awesome.
Bart said, bang, covered. I'm like, he's sick.
You are.
6:34, good morning.
I'm amazed at the number of people who think they're smart.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up. And don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds. Professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection or visit hoggutters.com.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge. Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here and there. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
By the way, good morning. We just kind of jumped in, and we're coffee deep. And hey, everybody,
Morning, Bart.
welcome in.
Edward.
I smell the bacon cooking. It's going to be a good day.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Got Ralph Russo coming up later today.
Ralph's great. We got Zach Gillum from the Oaklawn Sportsbook, the VP of Racing and Wagering. By the way, download the Oaklawn Sports app. New customers earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Oaklawn.com or find the Oaklawn Sports app in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. It's 6:40 on Friday morning. We got a game tomorrow.
We do.
It's a pesky game, as you described it. That's in the way of who's going to be the next coach.
That's right.
And that's all it's so amazing, man. We just, is there anything like this? Is there anywhere, like any comparison you can draw to a massive group of people pinning hopes based on the head coach, period?
Well, and it becomes a situation where, well, I think so-and-so is doing a good job out there at so-and-so. Let's bring that guy in. Let's hire him.
It's like
just offer him more money.
It's like summer basketball, elite youth summer basketball. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, look at that guy. Let's get him on our team. Right. And then the next week he's on that team.
Let's find his dad a job.
Yeah. It's like if you can we look at coaches like the silver bullet. Like the magic pill.
We do.
Brian and Rogers, good morning.
Morning, guys. How's it going?
Fine, Brian. How are you?
Doing all right. I want to put in my 2 cents for that coaching search, topic. One, before I do, just want to give you guys some recognition for a second. Chuck, I want to let you know that when I was a kid, I wanted to be in radio, and so watching and listening to your career over the years, in my eyes, you are a legend. Number 2,
thank you,
Mr. Bo. I want to let you know that not to age you at all or me at all, but I used to watch you on the news when I was a kid. So I wanted to give you credit for that because I got to watch your career. I met you a couple times. I used to work at Cumulus Broadcasting when it was next by request. So I got to meet you a few times, and you're just
I did too.
Really nice. It was a great career to see you guys continue and bring
Thanks, Brian.
excitement to Razorback sports.
So Brian, what are you doing now?
I was
Please tell us you made a better career choice.
Yeah, I watched you guys and thought I ain't doing that.
I work in tech now, so I help.
That's good.
Smart
Smart
move. The cap, buddy.
Smart move.
Good job. Way to make a good decision.
Yeah, it was I tried it while I was in high school, something as I'd say summer job or whatever, but it just, I found good money somewhere else.
That's good. Proud of you.
Thank you. But, so my 2 cents is, Bo, I like your take on the whiteboard session because I've tried to explain that to some of my friends of you could have a guy that is quote unquote a celebrity hire. I would look at that as like John Gruden. He'd bring excitement, but he's unproven in the SEC or even in college football. So I think that you have to pick which one of those topics or those qualities is most important. Outside of just, this guy gets excited. He's excited to be here. We all saw how Sam Pittman was when he first came here. He was super excited, and that's great. But I think that sometimes that can overshadow the actual work that has to be done. So I think I like Bobby Petrino. I think he's a great coach. I think he's got one of the best offensive minds in the country, honestly. And I think that for him, it would be a great, quote unquote, redemption story here. Others that, that people are talking about, the Rhett Lashley. Yeah, he's got connections, and yes, he's done well at SMU. But my thought is, can he bring that to the SEC? Is that something that, either Hunter or whoever's helping with the search, do we have confidence that he can bring that level to the SEC? Because in my mind, the SEC is in a league of its own. It is the top in college, football. It is, if you can do it here, you can pretty much do it anywhere. So I just wanted to, give you guys some credit for your guys' career. It's an honor to talk to you guys.
You're kind, Brian.
But that's just my 2 cents on the coaching search.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. On Rhett, and by the way, I'm the wrong guy to ask about Rhett because I'm completely partial. I love Rhett. I mean, I think Rhett would do a great job wherever he is. If I'm Rhett, I'm not coming here right now. I wait a little bit. I go ahead and have my career, and maybe I come in after, the next guy. But if he wanted the job and they wanted him, I think he would do fine. I think he'd do well. But this does really come down to a handful of candidates that A, you can actually get, and B, or someone or is the right person to fit what you need here.
Brian made a couple of points there that are pretty good points, and I think it probably bears repeating that he used that phrase, overshadow the work that must be done. You think about this is a redemption story. This is about nostalgia. This is about, beyond that, if it's somebody else, who can we go get? Who wants us? I really like that guy on TV. I love Coach O, and I'm just picking his name out of thin air, but I love this guy out at Washington or whatever. Sometimes we let the fun of the search overshadow the work that must be done, because whoever takes this job, your work is cut out for you, and that is not going to change. I do think, I'm just going to say this, among all the candidates out there, Bobby Petrino does have the best understanding of what must be done. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Doesn't mean he's the best guy for the job. Doesn't mean he's going to get hired. But when you talk about an understanding, having had boots on the ground, I think it's him.
Got to take a quick break. We had a short segment. We'll get right back to it with John Hamburg. He's holding. We got more calls coming up. Got a lot to get to. It's 6:46 on Friday. Good morning.
I know this is an audio medium, and I shouldn't just shake my head, but words fail me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com. Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
This fall, don't just pay for a heating tune-up. Make it part of a Paschal membership and get year-round benefits for your home. For as low as $8.99 a month, your annual tune-up is included. Plus, members get exclusive discounts on air, plumbing, and electric services. Don't wait until there's a problem. Protect your home, budget, and peace of mind with Paschal. Visit gopaschal.com to learn more and join today. And Razorback fans, we've got exciting news. Paschal is now proud to be the official air, plumbing, and electric provider of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea, and when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen. The Chuck and Bo Show.
got to match Chuck Barrett's intensity. I mean, when the guy's in the booth, he's a different kind of cat.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Varsity Vibe. I'm reading the Varsity Vibe bulletin right now, Chuck. All the high school games tonight, the upcoming schedules there. Log on to varsityvibearkansas.com and sign up for the free newsletter. It'll come to you. Find the Varsity Vibe podcast and get a preview from Melissa Orange and Bray Cook today of the big games. Bentonville, Fayetteville tonight. In Fayetteville.
Oh, wow.
They don't get any bigger than that.
No.
John is in Hamburg. John, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Bo, perfect segue and where I want to go with this conversation this morning. Good morning. You know, Kurt Signetti is $220,000 deeper this morning. And if he were the head football coach at the University of Arkansas tomorrow, he wouldn't win if he didn't understand what it took to win here at the University of Arkansas. I'm getting ready for a big rivalry game tonight. Hamburg Crossing. It used to be a big rivalry. Hamburg could score 100 tonight if they wanted to. And the reason they could score 100 tonight is they got one of the best football players in the state of Arkansas. He's rushed for 1,787 yards and 32 touchdowns through 6 games. He rushed for 409 yards and 6 touchdowns last week against the Warren Lumberjacks. And I've seen a lot of things. I've played in a lot of games. I've never seen a running back rush for 400 yards. His name is Nikel Lewis. And probably most people don't know who he is. And that's what's wrong with the University of Arkansas. We have stopped taking the Nikel Lewises 10, 15 years ago. And what's happened is when you stop taking great football players, and I'm going to tell you, there aren't 5 better football players in the state of Arkansas. When you stop taking him, you stop getting the 5-star kids out of this state because you have lost the coaches in this state. There has never been a great football team without kids from the state of Arkansas, and there will never be a great football team without great kids from the state of Arkansas. Whoever gets back in control better figure it out, or they're going to continue to lose football games. Go Hogs. Maybe the punt, maybe the deep snapper snap it over the punter's head this weekend. Maybe there'll be a muff punt. We're due a break. God bless America. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, man. Thanks for throwing the God bless America in there. That helped. Yeah. Nikel Lewis, 5'9", 200-pound running back. Hamburg.
I think one of the things that
Arkansas Tech, Pine Bluff, Austin Peay, Henderson State offers.
Okay. Well, I think one thing, too, that we probably need to understand is whatever happens at the end of this year, whoever the coach is, you may very well probably will see a reset as far as the way they recruit our state.
Top 10 nationally in rushing, though. How about that? I guess did they beat Warren in that game? Remember last year he's talking about trying to beat him for like the first time in 25 years?
Score 100 tonight.
Friday Night Lights tonight. VarsityVibeArkansas.com. Get the free newsletter.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburbans. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
Man, there's nothing like a perfect steak. So tender, juicy, and packed with flavor. And now, thanks to Plainview Beef, it's clean with no hidden chemicals. Plainview Beef feeds their cattle with wheatgrass sprouts, and their beef is loaded with nutrients your body needs. I'm telling you, you gotta try it. PlainviewBeef.com. Order direct to your house. Check out their menu, which includes 6 8-ounce fillets for just $99. Again, it's PlainviewBeef.com. Use the promo code Chuck and Bo and get a free 12-pack of beef sticks. PlainviewBeef.com.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eyes. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
So I spent yesterday. You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I told you yesterday, he's like Mike Judge, the creator of Beavis and Butthead, a Rice graduate like myself.
You went to school with a guy who created Beavis and Butthead?
He was about 2 years older than me, Bo.
King of the Hill, too.
Mike Judge has no connection whatsoever to Rice University.
You guys are horrible.
No.
If the guy wants to go through life thinking he went to college with the creator of Beavis and Butthead, what's the harm?
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
Driving my son to school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
It is Friday. It's 7:02. We got Friday Night Lights tonight. Varsity Vibe, Arkansas.com. Subscribe to the free newsletter. You'll always know what's going on. Listen to the podcast. Look for Varsity Vibe. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and follow us on social media, Varsity Vibe AR. So a bunch of Friday night games. Fayetteville, Bentonville is just one of them, but there's just great games. Ever listed off every school in Arkansas during the break, and Chuck got 98% of the mascots right.
Do you want to do a couple more? We didn't do.
Well, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
If we get into this
I
now,
mean, we'd be going to 8 o'clock.
It's one of those things that will just take over the show. So
That's
we're going
right.
to save that for another day because we got a lot to get into. But it is fun. And it is a good time. We had a great time during the break, and that's where it should have been today.
Yeah.
So Beavis and Butthead creator. There, you heard about it in the open. Mike Judge. Happy birthday to Mike Judge.
53 or 63.
Went to school with our good friend Brent and Cersei.
Rice.
Rice
Lost
House
in all
together.
that is the fact that Brent has a degree from Rice.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that.
That's true. That's a great point. Yeah. I mean, and I feel like that gives you some leeway on what you want to say in life.
That's right.
There you go. Thank you for that. It's 7:04. Bart is beaming in the afterglow of a Bengals victory last night.
That's right.
What was it, 33-31? Is that how it ended?
Yeah. They beat. I couldn't stay up. I tried.
Well, I
had the game on, and I just it was. I mean, 10 o'clock felt like 2 o'clock in the morning.
It does.
I had to.
When the clock struck 9 last night, I better be getting to bed.
I didn't realize, Chuck, how emotionally draining it was for me to be out there with Bart.
I can tell you guys were different when you got back.
Wednesday,
Everything
brain dead.
Everything was drained out of you.
Yes,
everything.
And I left my backpack at home yesterday morning. I'm brain dead. I've been brain dead for 2 days. Some people would argue much longer.
Well,
but I mean,
it's
by my
been noticeable.
Personal standards,
It's been noticeable, really, the last couple of days.
And I just didn't realize how mentally taxing it was.
Competition, with high stakes like that will drain you.
Man against a gorilla is one thing. Man against a golf course, like Big Creek Country Club at Mountain Home.
That's right.
Bart against the course. It wasn't about Bart against anybody else. People try to make it about, I want to get involved. Make me important. It's Bart is a warrior. He's a gladiator. He's a guy
in the arena.
You know what? It's not about
man in the
because
arena.
for Bart, just taking on some other person is not what it's about. He's not about beating another person. He's about beating the game of golf.
It's
the
golf
honor. Course,
the glory, and being the best you can be.
Golf is a game of man versus.
It is the ultimate test of a man. Because, when you're taking on another man,
manly man,
you can win because that other man was not a man that day.
Or you were more of a man.
Or you were more of a man. But you didn't prove anything to yourself. You just went, I beat a weaker person. You ever feel better about yourself beating a weaker person? Only in a team sport or when you do have a one-on-one competition because that's the battle. But that's not the battle Bart chooses. Bart chooses the battle that fills him up personally inside.
The greater battle.
Fulfills himself. Not whether someone else was up for the challenge that day. It's Bart and the golf course. Well, I just admire that about you.
That's what makes you the ultimate competitor.
Hey, we'll
Bart.
put it back on the line a week from today.
Among the people I admire in life right now, Bart Pullman and Kurt Signetti. Kurt Signetti gets himself an $11.8 million a year contract.
Google it.
And the way he did it, just marching into Bloomington, Indiana. He said, you guys thought Bobby Knight was arrogant. Let me just show you. I'm going to will y'all to confidence, arrogance, and wins.
Here's the thing about Signetti. He does it with a little bit of a wry smile, got his tongue in his cheek. You know that, he's got a smart aleck remark at the ready.
Who's that remind you of? Bobby Petrino. Gives you that little smile and just delivers with precision the answer.
Yeah. Well, Signetti's certainly good at it, and you can tell he's got a whole lifetime stored up.
So what is this clip? This is from the Big Ten Media Days?
Yeah.
Somebody, is the question in here, Edward? This Signetti clip? Yes. Okay, let's listen.
You have tremendous perspective on life and the coaching profession, and also I know that you're never truly satisfied, but within the job that you have now, what gives you the greatest satisfaction?
Just beating somebody's ass, playing hard from the first play to the last play, and then going in the locker room and singing that song.
That is so awesome.
If you don't want to hear that when you're waking up in the morning, I don't know what you want to hear.
That is a great soundbite.
That's a Bart soundbite. Yes. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe Signetti.
Play that again. Play that again.
I got to hear it.
That's
you
worthy
have
of repeating.
tremendous perspective on life and the coaching
Tremendous
profession, and also
perspective
I know that you're never truly satisfied,
Such
but
a
within the
deep-
job
it's
that
a
you
deep
have
question.
now,
It is.
what gives you the greatest satisfaction?
1, 2.
Just beating somebody's ass and playing hard from the first play to the last play, and then going in the locker room and singing that song.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, Bart. That was not even
How can
2
you not
second
root
pause.
for that guy?
Yeah.
Just beating somebody's ass.
That's what gives Bart satisfaction.
The testosterone there.
I know.
It's just flowing out of
But
you.
he knows when he's saying it. He knows what he's saying. He understands how he's saying it, and he knows how it's going to be received.
Oh, it's so
he's
good.
great.
877-377-6963. Let's go to Springdale. You want to? You want to go to
Yeah,
Springdale?
let's go.
Let's travel there via phone. Here is Kevin. Kevin, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, I am I've been working down here recently, past few months, from Iowa, and I bleed black and gold as far as that goes. And I was just curious. I'm really fascinated by the coaching scenario that you guys are going through right now, and I'm curious. I don't hear a lot of talk about the athletic director at the University of Arkansas, and I kind of wanted to get a little insight on who he is and something that the University of Iowa experienced when they changed over their athletic director maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and kind of got out of the good old boy syndrome that was there. That's when things started getting shaken up for the better or for worse. And so I'm just kind of curious on your thoughts on those two things.
Well, look, an AD plays a big role, but it's not what fans spend most of the time talking about. I got a question for you, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kurt Ferentz, your coach, is the longest tenured coach in all of college football. How many years? 20-something years.
Right.
So, and Iowa hasn't had a great season every year. And Iowa also is not in the college football playoff. What keeps Kurt Ferentz in that job? Because I know you look around college football and see, the firing of James Franklin, for example. Hey, you got us to a certain point, but we got to go to the next level. Or when you have a bad season, same old, same old. Anytime a coach has been somewhere 10 years, it's hard to keep the fan base. How has he done it? What do you guys have talks about new coaches on radio shows and throughout Iowa?
Periodically. I guess I'll say, and I'm speaking from a personal standpoint, I have always felt that if I had a son that could play Division I football, it would be for a coach that cares for that person and will empower him to grow into a good man.
Yeah, I got that.
And I guess I've always viewed Kirk Ferentz that way, and fully admitting that there has been so many frustrating times where, particularly when Brian Ferentz was on staff,
But I get that. But beyond that, it's about wins and losses and fans being happy or unhappy. And I'm just curious because to me, Iowa understands who they are and they understand what they have, and most of college football doesn't most of the time. So I just wonder what's different there. And you gave me your thought on him personally, but I think there's more to it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I guess I feel like that there is a I don't know whether contentment with the culture of the program for one thing, and it does. It kind of stems from the bigger picture of college athletics, and
we need to move to
I'm not going to say.
Sounds like people in Iowa are happy.
Sounds like Iowa's the best job in college football.
It sounds like people like Brian. You can tell Brian's a nice fella. You can sit down and have a coffee, a beer, or lunch with him. Yeah. What did I say, Brian?
Yeah, Brian.
I don't know.
Brian
I call Edward's son by the wrong. How's Benson this morning?
Young Benson.
But it sounds like Kevin's a good dude, and I think Iowa's like that, like the state of Iowa. You go to Iowa, and people are just genuinely at peace. Generally speaking,
and I've been in this area for about 4 months now, and I kind of feel that same vibe from Arkansas.
Really?
And yeah, I really do. And while the coaching conversations, it's entertaining and stuff. The fan base at the University of Arkansas has to come to grips with where they're at. And look at things in a bigger picture.
Oh, that's deep. That's good.
Bigger picture.
I appreciate the call, Kevin. He asked about people talking about the AD. I mean, there are people talking about Arkansas's AD. I think what happens here will bring more to that discussion. But there's so much more at play. I mean, I don't think that we also realize that ADs are. I don't want to say they're a puppet or they're just a figurehead, but they're not they don't just get to pull all the strings and be the Jerry Jones of their program.
Well, it's because it's not their money.
It's not how it's set up.
It's not their money.
Yeah,
I mean they've got the department's money, but that's been donated by people.
And you got the you got the chancellor and you got the board of trustees, and then you've got a lot of politics and money that weigh in with all those people. Yeah. And you're working for them.
Well, you still got to factor in ego too. We hadn't even gotten to that.
Yeah. With everybody involved.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, we're brought to you in part by WT Equipment. We'll come back and take some calls. If you've got a job, maybe you're farming, maybe you've just got work to do on some land. They've got 8 locations across Arkansas. Maybe you're managing a job site. WT Equipment's got all the tools to get it done. Brands like New Holland, Hustler, Steel, the legendary Bobcat, and like everyone else we tell you about, they're just great people to deal with. We had lunch the other day. Just a family-run operation with a lot of good people. Talk about a good fit and understanding Arkansas. WT Equipment, they're built on that. You go in there, if you go in there to their office, their big office with all the equipment outside, all that, you're just going to get there's free pots of coffee sitting around. It reminds you of just going down to the coffee morning get-together. That's what you're going to get at WT Equipment, people that care about you and take care of you. If you're looking for dependable equipment like Bobcat, they're going to treat you like family and get you what you need. WT Equipment, the best Bobcat dealer you're going to find. Visit WTEquipment.com and go to work.
They're all crazy. Yeah. And I don't mean that in a critical way. We got issues in this room. I'm going to be truthful about that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hog Trough Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hog Trough, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
That's special.
Coach, we'll get you out of here with this. Can you describe Muscle Beach?
Well, there's a lot of talent out here. There's a couple 5-stars. And, one of my favorite activities is evaluating talent.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You talk about somebody that just you want to be like in life. Steve Graves.
I thought you were going to say Bart.
Well, Bart is a Steve disciple.
Steve Graves.
You are a Steve disciple.
Steve's a good man.
Steve is a great man, and he doesn't have time for this, but he brings us breakfast like once a week. And because he thinks of us, because he's thoughtful. And, in all seriousness, we just kind of like, oh, thanks, and keep going. But I'm just going to say today,
That was right on time.
Well, and he understands too, because I mean, for a while there, it would, what do you guys want for breakfast? And then he figured out it was going to be pretty much the same thing every time. And so, rather than waste time by sending a "What would you guys like for breakfast?" text, it's just like, "Hey guys, here's breakfast," which is really even better. Yeah. Because you get the surprise factor.
If you are side texting Chuck, as some of you do during the show, he left his phone on the back of the toilet again today.
Man, I did. That is so frustrating.
Chuck just immediately went out of my office this morning while we were talking, and I go, he's looking for his phone.
Yeah.
And this is how our relationship, Chuck may not even realize it's evolved to this point. I just started calling his phone.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me he was looking for his phone. I just know at this point.
You're the door slam. You're the door slam at the bottom of the stairs. There would be no other reason he'd be going out to his truck
so
other than to look for
calling
his phone.
And it wasn't in there.
No.
Rod on I-40, 722. It's Friday morning. Big weekend ahead. Rod, what's going on?
Yeah, this is a big one, all right, and they're really, really good. I admire the people from Iowa. They're so laid back, chilled out, content. I'm kind of the opposite. I was told a long time ago that nice guys finish last. So, and that was by a football coach. And if we're not out there to win, why are we keeping score? I want a coach that's going to kick somebody's ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I want a coach that when he walks on the field, his walkout song is Alice Cooper, Nowhere Near for Nice Guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I hear you.
It's about the W's, man.
I hear you.
We wouldn't be out there keeping score.
You'd just be tougher on those guys. They'd win more.
Yeah, I think that's a. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I think that's a misunderstood statement. Nice guys finish last. Soft guys finish last. Sometimes soft and nice are confused to being the same thing.
Let's refine that.
Yeah.
Soft guys.
Soft guys finish last. You can be nice and be hard. You can be nice and be intense. You can be demanding and be nice. But soft, no. I think when you cower away from it, like in terms of in a game, you don't want the ball, you don't want the moment. I mean, that's another thing about Petrino. I mean, let's just talk about this for a second. This guy's been handed an almost impossible situation. And it's not like he had a choice because, he would love to have the job. So he has to take it on. But from the moment he's handed the impossible situation, have you heard one word about how difficult it's going to be?
No.
From him?
No.
One even hint that, man, this is a challenge.
Hunter alluded to the schedule at the initial press conference. And other than that, I've not heard it mentioned.
Not a word. I mean, it's just like, this is what we got to do. And he just keeps focused on the message about what has to happen to go win.
All these interim coaches, the fact that they're firing these guys in early October in some cases, these guys have to coach a half, 2/3 of a season sometimes with literally both hands tied behind their backs. And their futures in large part are being judged. Now, look, Petrino's 64 years old. He's going to be all right, whether he gets this job or not. In other words, his career trajectory, at 64, you're already where you're going to be. Some of these guys are still relatively young. Their careers have not been defined. And they are handed the interim job because they've been good enough in their careers that people would think that if we ever have to fire a guy, this is who I want in charge for a little while. And yet you've got 6 or 7 games to coach, and you look at the schedule, you look at the team, you look at the circumstances, and it's like a no-win situation. You fire the head coach in November, the interim goes 0-2, nobody holds it against him. Nobody says, well, he can't coach. You fire a guy in early October, you hire an interim guy, and he goes 1-5, he's defined. And that's a really tough spot to put a coach in. And that pertains some to Petrino, but more to maybe some of the other guys.
Brent's in Searcy. Rod, thanks for the call. Brent, good morning. Brent? Oh, my gosh, Brent. Brent, you're a, veteran radio caller.
I think he's in the background.
Where are you, Brent? Probably having a smoke.
Yeah, he went outside.
Brought to you in part by First Security Bank, helping you bank better every day all over the great state of Arkansas. How do you bank better? Well, you've got convenient locations and friendly local people helping answer all your questions and getting you to where you need to get, whatever it looks like. Money market, checking, savings, loans. First Security Bank has the people that help you get the answers. FSbank.com. You can bank online there or learn more about them. First Security Bank, member FDIC. Mike Elko, the A&M coach, was in his news conference earlier this week talking about Petrino.
Yeah, kind of what I had expected to see. I think you saw a team rally around their new head coach. I think they've got a lot of passion and respect about Coach Petrino. I'm sure it'll even ramp up a whole nother level going back to Fayetteville this weekend for the first time. And I'm sure they're a very prideful team and are wanting to prove that this season is not done and that they got a lot still to play for. And so I'm sure they're going to come out fired up and absolutely play their best game of the year on Saturday.
Do you think that's true?
I hope it's true.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I hope it is. They're going to have to come out and play probably their best game of the year to have a chance to win this game. I mean, look, Arkansas's got to win a game. I mean, at some point you've got to win a game because we may be, as fans, we may be focused on the coaching search. Players have lost 4 in a row. They need to win a football game.
It's interesting you said these pesky games are getting in the way of a coaching search. If you look logically at the schedule, you want to jump to the games that you think Arkansas has got a really good chance to win, right?
Let's go play Auburn.
So if you go back, did you really expect them to win at Tennessee? No. Do you really expect them to beat A&M tomorrow? No. However, you got to play the game that's in front of you, and for that day in that game, it's like you throw out all the other considerations, right? Like, oh, we just got to get through these 2 games and get to a couple of winnable games. Nobody's thinking that way. You're going into this game.
No, you're right.
This is the only game that matters right now. And as a fan, even though logically you're thinking, man, we just got to get to Auburn and Mississippi State, and we need to win those 2 games, maybe get on a little bit of a roll, figure out a way to upset LSU or Texas. But when you get to game day in Knoxville or A&M in Fayetteville on Saturday, it's like that stuff's out the window.
No, you're right.
And it's just like, are they good enough to win this game?
That's exactly right. Who's best today?
And, it happens in sports all the time. You've got a chance until you don't have a chance anymore. And they got a chance right now.
No, they've got a chance. Look,
they got a chance, and we'll see if they still have a chance after kickoff and at the end of the first quarter and at the end of the second quarter.
What's this, A&M second road game? Something like that? They hadn't played very many road games, conference play anyway. So, this is now, I know they went to Notre Dame and won, but, it's going to be a different situation for them.
Texas A&M, South Bend, Fayetteville. This is their second road game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like – and look, who doesn't get excited to play Notre Dame, no matter where you play them? I'm sure A&M was fired up going to South Bend to play that game. I don't know how fired up they'll be coming up here. Maybe.
Brent is in Searcy. Brent, we'll try it again.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, guys?
Brent.
Hey, man.
I'm ready to rock and roll this weekend. We're going to take care of business.
I can tell.
Without any question.
Mm-hmm.
How's the weather supposed to be?
Yeah, I asked Chuck to get his weather app
and I
open.
have my weather app open as we speak.
Yeah, let's do that.
You'll be fine for high school football tomorrow. Really, right around kickoff time is when it shows that, and right before kickoff time is when the rain may be heaviest. And then
how early do I need to get to the game to get inside before it rains?
Let me just tell you. At 11 a.m., it shows 50-50. At noon, 55%. 1 o'clock, 65%.
So it's going to be raining.
And then it's 60% at 2, 3, 4 o'clock, down to 50% at 5 o'clock. So there's a chance, pretty good chance.
That it's going to rain.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to be like severe thunderstorms, or are we just getting?
I see nothing. Well, I see a few lightning
dance golf
emojis.
available.
Yeah. Can we get a weather guy on here?
We got to hit a break. We got Ralph Russo coming up. I'm sorry, Brent. We just ran out of time.
Yeah.
But look forward to seeing you at the game on Saturday. 7:31. Good morning. You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
Because
that's
we don't
all I
want
wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more, they carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Truck Month is here at Chevrolet of Fayetteville, and the savings are big. Get up to $12,000 off new Silverados, up to $8,000 off Chevy 2500s, and up to $5,000 off Chevy Colorado. That's real money back in your pocket. Plus more inventory, more discounts, and better service than anywhere else in Northwest Arkansas. Stop by today and see Chris, Mark, and Denver at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
You know what else makes you an Arkansas Razorback fan? Going to the University of Arkansas. How about playing football for the team?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
love the game of football. I love the University of Arkansas and the Razorbacks and being back in the state. And I was asked if I would want to come back and serve as the interim head coach. And I felt, like it was my duty to do that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, so we got rain starting about 11 a.m., 50% chance of rain. Climbs up to 60 throughout the afternoon. Looks like it's going to be wet.
It's going to be a wet day
on Saturday. I don't know if it benefits either team. We'll see as it plays out.
The team that hangs on to the ball benefits.
Well, yeah, that hasn't favored Arkansas.
That's what I'm,
Ralph Russo of The Athletic is joining us. So, Ralph, longtime college football writer, reporter. Thanks for hopping on with us this morning on the Chuck and Bo Show. How are you, Ralph?
Hanging in there, man. Good to talk to you guys as always.
The statement "college football is drunk" has been made for a long time, and I was the idiot that thought when we went into rev share that maybe coaching money would kind of change a little bit. Like we wouldn't have these massive contracts moving forward. We'd still have the ones we have. I think it's the opposite. I don't see it stopping at all. I mean, I don't think we're that far away from having a $20 million a year coach in the next 2 or 3 years. Let's just start there. Why is it? What makes it the way it is with the money in college football? No matter how many times we hear there's a deficit here and a deficit there, people are willing to spend for what they want.
Why are we crazy?
Yeah, so I think it's a couple of things. I think there's that chasing the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So if you get the Saban coach, if you get the game-changing coach, you are essentially getting a bargain, right? I mean, we had all those, for years we talked about how really, if you look at it, Nick Saban is a bargain. And that's true. Kind of like LeBron James is really a bargain, right? No matter how much you pay LeBron James. The really great coaches, or even players to a certain degree, they change your school to an amount that you can pay them almost anything, and you will get all those ancillary benefits. And in the long run, it will be a bargain. The problem is, not everybody is that guy. Like, it's so hard to find that guy. And I'll credit a sports writer I was talking to yesterday who works at one of the business publications, because he kind of framed it this way. He was like, you're paying to not necessarily have that guy. You're paying to find that guy. So Indiana thinks it has found its guy in Kurt Signetti. And maybe they have. He's done a remarkable job. I mean, you're talking about the losingest program in major college football is now a national title contender within 2 years of getting there. But it has only been a year and a half. And what does that look like when he's not able to import almost an entire James Madison team with him? So what does the sustainability look like for Kurt Signetti? But there's no patience. Everybody's chasing, what they could be, hoping to find their version of Saban. And the other part of it is these contracts are so long, and the financial damage, if it doesn't work out, is so great, but it's so far down the road that the guy and the gals who are making the decision to give them out probably aren't going to be there to have to clean up the mess anyway.
They're at their third job.
It's such a good point. Like, there's so many decisions made at schools where the people making the decision won't be there when the outcome is final. And that's another thing that's just sort of bass-ackwards about the whole thing.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is, like, you don't have the structure in a major business when you're making those kinds of – in a regular business when you're making those kinds of financial decisions. There are accountability points, right? Like maybe it's your stakeholders or your shareholders. There are reasons like you have to be fiscally responsible, because if not, there are more consequences at the end. And you can say, well, the consequence is you lose your job. But with a university, the way things are structured with boards and presidents and they're public universities in some cases, like it's just not the same accountability structure And the other part of it is, too, is I've heard this from a zillion athletic directors because it's not all on them. They'll go in front of their boards who have to approve some of these moves, and you're talking about people who have made, often have made millions in business. They are generally considered smart business people. That's how they got to they got to become a board of regents or a trustee. But when in this setting, when it comes to their college football team, they totally lose their minds and would make decisions and approve decisions that they would never do in their own businesses. So it's just a strange place in every single way.
Ralph, until Kurt Signetti signed that contract yesterday, we were all talking about James Franklin. How does a guy go in 15 days? How does a guy go from leading Oregon in overtime as the number 2 team in the country to being fired? I mean, I know they lost 2 games. I know UCLA and Northwestern beat them, but that still seems like, even for Penn State, just an incredible reaction.
Yeah, my colleague Bruce Feldman and I at The Athletic did a story that I thought turned out pretty well.
Yeah, it was good.
To explain, thank you. To try to explain the downfall, and I think that what you had to look at was, even though Franklin had been there 11 years and was winning 10 games almost every year, the place was a little more fragile. The program was a little more fragile than I think you may have realized on the surface, because I think the burden of trying to break through, right, this constant narrative of can't win the big games, we're good but we're not great, we're great but we're not elite, had put the Penn State football in a very precarious position. So I think when they lose to Oregon, it sets off a spiral. And he is living a lot closer to the edge than I think we all realized. I think the team itself, again, I think was probably burdened by sort of trying to win one for their coach. And you lose to Oregon, and all of a sudden it's the same questions again, not just to Franklin, but the players. And the other thing I think that played a little bit, there's also an X's and O's part of this too, but the other thing I would say that plays a little bit of a part of this is we looked at Penn State and saw all this veteran experience and these guys who have been there for several years and thought that's a good thing for Penn State, right? Because you want experienced players. The problem is you lose to Oregon, and all of those guys have lived this. You know how coaches sometimes will tell teams like, "Hey, we haven't beaten this team since 1985 at their home." That doesn't matter. You're a different team. This wasn't a different team. This was the same team that had lost big games the last couple of years. And I do think that became a weight on the players, led to a spiral. And, yeah, were they probably a little overhyped, the product on the field? I would say yes. But, listen, I think we've talked to coaches. This team was talented enough to beat UCLA and Northwestern. Something broke there.
Oh, yeah. Ralph, I want to ask you just about Arkansas broadly. What would you do? You're the AD. You're the advisor to the AD. You got Petrino here midseason. They look better. They look like a focused team playing hard at Tennessee. What do you think is the best thing Arkansas could have happen?
I don't think the Bobby Petrino thing is a great idea. I think that will sort itself out. I went on our podcast that I have with Bruce Feldman and Stuart Mandel, the Audible, and sort of said, Arkansas, have a little self-respect, right? That guy embarrassed your school in a way that is that we're still talking about today. I understand giving him the interim job because it makes sense right now because he's the guy in the staff with the most experience. But again, I don't want to get too much down that hole. The schedule should sort that out, right? Even if they are better, I doubt he will do as well as he needs to do to keep that job. And maybe that'll keep the people who want him to have that job at bay. I think that you make the call to Rhett Lashley and see if he wants to come home. I think that there are some very interesting group of 5 options out there. it is going to be a very cluttered coaching market. I think there's probably going to be at least, we're up to about 7 or 8. When the dominoes start falling, I could see as many as 20 or 25 Power 5 jobs coming open. Wow. So that is going to be a very difficult thing for Arkansas to maneuver in, because they probably won't be even the best SEC job if a couple of Jenga pieces get pulled out here. But I do think that there are a guy like Ryan Silverfield at Memphis who beat you, right? There are some interesting group of 5 options, maybe a Jeff Traylor who's got some great ties to Texas, though I would also say, like, that program's been a little shaky over the last couple of years. It doesn't look like it's quite as stable as maybe it looked a couple of years back. But I don't know if I have the answer, but I think maybe in some ways the cluttered market could work to your favor, and with some pieces being moved around the board here, where a guy like Lashley maybe would rather have the Florida job, but because of so many moving pieces, maybe there's a couple of guys ahead of him at Florida, and Eli Drinkwitz or things along those lines. So I don't have a good answer as say, like, hire this guy, but I do think there are some candidates out there that would make sense for Arkansas.
Ralph, it's been great, man. Great
Thank
piece
you,
in The
Ralph.
Athletic.
Really
we always
good.
appreciate your thoughts and enjoyed having you on. We'll do it again soon. Have a great football weekend.
Yeah, you too, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks so much. Ralph Russo, 748 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Ralph Russo at The Athletic, the Audible podcast with Bruce Feldman and Stuart Mandel. Been covering college football for a long time. But I have to respectfully disagree with something when we come back. I'll do it next.
But you'll do it respectfully.
But I'll do it respectfully.
Yeah.
Chuck and Bo. Yeah, see, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eyes. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
for me.
I think I have 1,100 subscriptions. I'm pretty sure. It is so ridiculous.
That guy subscribed to Hulu twice.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Respectfully, I just got to say this. I don't even want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear the narrative of Petrino left this program a mess the way that it ended the first time. Frankly, I don't care. I care about the kind of person, the kind of coach who gives you the best chance to do all the things that have to be done now, today, 13 years later. And if we're hung up on that, like, oh my gosh, what that guy did, have some respect for yourself. Have some respect for yourself. You're getting hammered by like North Texas and Western Kentucky, and you're barely trying to win 6 games every year. Like, if this guy can help you change that, and then you tell me at the same time, I mean, Jeff Traylor, you might think about him. Like Silverfield, I like Ryan Silverfield.
I like Jeff Traylor.
I like both of them. But like, if you're putting candidates on a board and you're checking all the qualifications of what gives them the in as the best chance to win here, you're telling me those two guys, they're not even in the same league.
When your only objection is, and I'm not saying it's not a substantial objection, but when your only objection is he embarrassed you. He embarrassed you. Have some self-respect. I judge stuff like that just like I judge people in my own life. How are you today? I'll forgive you for what you did 12 years ago, and I hope you'll forgive me too.
That's right.
And because I did some things that probably need to be forgiven.
A lot of things.
And so if that's the only objection, let's come down off the high horse. Let's move out of the glass house. And now look, everybody's got opinions on coaching ability. Everybody, I mean, they're bringing up the fact he's 64. Can he do it again? Is there magic left in the bag? All that stuff's legitimate. We can have differences of opinion on that. But let's spare us the moral judgment.
You want the right person right now. And if you've got the right person right now, you can celebrate that at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's about the story. But that's how you mark your occasion. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. The purple bag is undefeated. When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like walk-ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
This fall, don't just pay for a heating tune-up. Make it part of a Paschal membership and get year-round benefits for your home. For as low as $8.99 a month, your annual tune-up is included. Plus, members get exclusive discounts on air, plumbing, and electric services. Don't wait until there's a problem. Protect your home, budget, and peace of mind with Paschal. Visit gopaschal.com to learn more and join today. And Razorback fans, we've got exciting news. Paschal is now proud to be the official air, plumbing, and electric provider of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Chris in Fayetteville. You're on the news, weather, information station.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, we're full service, baby.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
These people that talk about pressure's part of life. How many of you go to work every day and there's 11,000 people screaming at you while you're trying to fill out that form? I mean, give me a break. Go to work tomorrow and let's bring 11,000 people with you to scream at you and say, Doug, you're not any good. You're great Monday through Thursday, but on Friday, you're always terrible. I mean, let's see how you do that day. Come on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show.
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Just beating somebody's ass and playing hard from the first play to the last play, and then going in the locker room and singing that song.
That's what gives Kurt Signetti satisfaction. Bart, what about you?
What gives you satisfaction, Bart?
Similar vibes.
Yeah?
Similar vibes.
Start beating people up.
8:03, good morning. It's Friday.
Giving people some winners.
Yeah,
Giving people
you
some
got
winners.
lots coming up. Oh, my gosh, he was holding court at Big Creek Country Club. Oh, Bart, he has become.
This has been the best professional week of Bart's life.
He's become an icon.
Really has been.
I mean, he is. We're watching it happen.
I know.
There's Kurt Signetti and Bart simultaneously riding the rocket.
Okay. I know.
It's true.
No.
It is true.
No.
It is. Yes, it is. I'm just telling you. You're
the
going to
talk
have
of
a
the town,
decision
Bart.
to make.
You're the talk of the town.
In January, you're going to have a decision to make. Are you staying here with us? Or are you going to do the ESPN thing?
To be the head coach in Indiana.
No, I'm talking your line of work. No. You know, game day. Stanford Steve's getting, that's getting tired. McAfee's going to want you.
No.
I'm just telling you what I'm hearing.
Yeah, okay.
One of these days, we'll tell people how we met Bart.
I'm hoping to keep them around, but at the same time, we'd never want to hold you back. No. But can you imagine
so
if
you
they
need
turn
to go,
Bart loose?
I mean, if you need to go.
If they turn Bart loose. By the way, James Franklin's going to be on game day.
With all our respect.
Yeah. Yes, James Franklin's going to be on game day. Talking about why
first
he got
public
fired.
appearance since the firing.
Hasn't even left the house.
And I bet James Franklin has the opportunity to sign a big contract. Penn State, if he does that, will be off the hook. And 25 jobs open. That's what Ralph Russo believes will happen.
Last year we talked about a firing moratorium. Because of all the money uncertainty. I mean, evidently they're a lot more certain now.
I've said a lot of dumb things. One of the dumbest things I've ever said is I think we're going to see, some of these coaching salaries
thought so too.
Slow down a little bit.
I thought so, too.
And then Kurt Signetti, has a second mid-season. He's having a second great year in Indiana, and they're like, let's pay him $11.8 million for, whatever it is,
fully
7 or 8 years.
Guaranteed.
They'll regret that before it's over.
Fully guaranteed.
They'll regret
Say
that
it one more
before
time.
it's over.
Fully guaranteed. It's like $93 million or something.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here, people?
It's the ends of these contracts that
that's right.
It's never the initial contract. It's always the extension that gets you.
But it gives you the micro, just look at the idea of how we all are in college football. And this is why coaching searches are so popular. Because this is the chance to pick the Kurt Signetti for you.
Well,
it's going to change everything.
You think about Indiana, all right? Let's say that the back half of this contract, they don't want to pay it anymore, but they have to. So, I mean, it becomes cumbersome to them. You win the national championship this year, you'll put up with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we say prisoners of the moment, and we are. We're all prisoners of the moment. But how much is a national championship in football worth? It's kind of like Ralph was talking about coaches a little bit earlier. I always remember the coach from Coach Broyles. Whatever you pay a good one's not enough. Whatever you pay a bad one's too much. And there's a lot of truth to that. I don't know that coaches back then got 8 10-year contracts for $90-something million, but the premise is still accurate. And Indiana, I'm sure right now feels like whatever we're having to pay to ride this as far as we can ride it, we're willing to pay. And, now – they may end up, if he stays good, they may end up having to restructure this thing. Who knows? But I just keep going back to last year when somebody was courting him and he said, we're the emerging power in college football, talking about Indiana. And I just remember laughing out loud. But by golly, he was right.
Bart, will you look at this thing I sent in the group text yesterday? I want to give this podcast credit, and I honestly couldn't tell who it was. Mike Irwin of the Pig Trail Nation. Mike's a longtime sportscaster, probably doesn't need me to explain who he is. But he was on this podcast and said this about Dan Mullen and Bobby Petrino. And I want to react to this, and then we'll tell you where it came from, because I want to make sure I don't just rip their content without giving them credit. It says it on like the top there or something. I couldn't even fully read it. Here's Mike Irwin on the coaching search.
There are two guys out there that would take this job without any conditions whatsoever. You hire me, I'm coming. Mm-hmm. One of them is Bobby Petrino, right, and the other's Dan Mullen. Mullen has basically told them, hey, you don't have to give me NIL guarantees. You don't have to give me a bunch of money. I'll deal with the buyout I have here. I want to come.
Okay. Where did it come from?
It's called The Hospitality Room.
That's okay. Yeah, The Hospitality Room podcast. All right. Now, so if that's true, which, somebody told Irwin that. I don't know who told him, but I mean, he's not just pulling that out of his mind. If that's true, I just immediately crossed Dan Mullen off the list. That means that you just want a better job than the one you have now.
There's a lot of truth to that.
I think that's accurate.
That's a lot of truth.
I mean, if that's
to that.
really what Dan Mullen said, I'll do anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just take me. You're desperate.
I don't disagree with that.
I mean, there was a report that came out of UNLV earlier in the offseason, like August, that they didn't have enough money to fulfill his contract in the current budget.
Well, that's why, if this is true, and there's some sense, I mean, it makes sense. I have a hard time believing that any coach, particularly any coach's agent, would allow a statement like, you don't even have to work out the NIL money, I'm coming.
Look,
that's
Mullen's
a
going to
little
be coaching
far-fetched.
somewhere else next year, I would imagine.
Well, he wants out.
I don't think it'll be at Arkansas, but he will be coaching Power 4 football again next year.
Are you sure? Because here's what Dan Mullen said.
sure.
All these coaches being asked about coaching rumors. Here's what he said.
I'll make it. You want me to do that? I'm going to be the head coach of UNLV next year. I'll be here.
Yeah, okay.
I'll make it. You want me to do that? I'm going to be the head coach of UNLV next year. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere.
Have you said that?
Some heckler. He's the one guy at the press conference.
I said, good or bad, right? It's a transfer portal world. I said, don't get all excited. Think I might go somewhere that you think is like a better place. I'm going to be here. You guys are stuck with me.
Do you believe that for 1 second?
No.
Okay, so now we've heard that Mullen said, I don't need any guarantees about NIL or anything. Just hire me. And then we hear him say, I'm going to be the UNLV coach 3 times. We don't believe any. So that's he's off my list.
To be perfectly honest with you, I don't believe that he would stay at UNLV if a better job came along, but I don't believe he's saying I'll come to your place sight unseen without any guarantees. I don't find either one of those believable.
Can I play devil's advocate for just a second?
Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room, Bart Pullman, 8:10 Friday morning. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. If that disqualifies Dan Mullen, what you just said, what you just laid out, should that not also disqualify Bobby Petrino?
For what?
And if not, then
for
why?
what? Well, what are you disqualifying Petrino for?
Well, because Mike said in that clip, it's Petrino and Mullen who will take the
Petrino
job.
already knows where the money's coming from.
He's already on the staff.
He already knows where the money's coming from. I guarantee you, he's already got some. I mean, John L. Hunt's already made a statement in support of him. So no, I don't think it's the same at all.
Okay. I'm just asking the question.
He was adamantly defending.
I was just asking the question.
I am just kind of I don't people don't know what they want.
All right, let's say the choices are Dan Mullen and Bobby Petrino. What are you doing?
Petrino.
Well, I mean, look, I'm the only person who's going to say something other than Petrino there. So, I mean, we know that.
Well, and you've made your points.
I've made my point. It has nothing to do. To be clear, it has nothing to do with what he did and how it ended. It has to do with so many other things. I don't care about that. Whatever.
You don't know that he can win here.
I don't know that
now,
he can win here now.
World.
And we have a track record that suggests he's not as good a coach. He's not the same coach that he once was. If you look at the data, the winning percentages, like
I think this.
games that he's won, and I don't know that he can recruit in today's day and age. I don't know. I mean, his recruiting classes at Arkansas were not anything stellar.
By the way, they have a ton of recruits coming to this game.
Yeah, they do.
On Saturday. I
Yeah.
saw Richard Davenport's article this morning, wholehogsports.com.
Other sports will too, I'm sure.
The idea, though, of that, okay, I understand why you're saying all that, but I think you can put you can take a Houston Nutt and you can say, you know, whatever happened afterwards at Ole Miss, and then he never got another job and all that. He was a great fit for Arkansas at the time.
Yeah.
And we spend way too much time taking swings that we have no idea what's going to happen with those swings. And you have something that's more proven than anything else that you can go to. And I'm just really intrigued by the idea that we're going to just use all these other reasons to say that doesn't matter. And let's take a swing at somebody that we have no idea how they're going to do in this unique job.
We don't have any idea how Bobby Petrino is going to do in this job.
The last time he was in it went really well.
14 years ago.
And the difference between the Notre Dame game and the Tennessee game was stark.
Well, sure. I think Notre Dame's a much better team than Tennessee as well.
They played harder. They looked different.
I agree. I don't disagree. But to think that Bobby Petrino is going to come into Arkansas in the year 2025, knowing how it's ended everywhere that he's been, knowing the coach that he's been the last decade, it's not going to be the same.
When you say ended everywhere he's been, Western Kentucky ended fine. Missouri State ended fine. Louisville, we've talked about what happened at Louisville and the loss of his father and all that, whatever. I don't even care about any of that. I care
that's about
fine. Where he is today.
Well, today he wins about 54% of his games.
No.
Today, that's the coach that he's been for the last decade. Is a guy who's won 54% of his games.
What is he going to be like here now? Again, I'll point back to Houston Nutt when Houston Nutt came here.
He's
what
not
is he
going to be the same
to
coach.
Be? You don't know that.
Right, but you don't know that he's going to be the same coach either.
But I have a really good look at it right now. He's right here in front of me. You know what kind of support he gets. You know what kind of money he can raise. All of those things matter. You don't know any of that. And by the way, you have no idea who you can get. And I'm not.
Yeah, but you got to find out. You can't just like what I feel happening right now in our state is everybody's just putting the ball in Bobby Petrino's court and in that basket.
Let me finish.
And nobody's even considering what else might happen.
That's not true. I'm talking about today. I'm not talking about even Monday. I'm talking about right now, today.
Okay.
And my position is this. Until somebody moves me off that position, him based on results the rest of the way, other coaches that are actually a really good candidate and a really good fit, I just don't have any of those right now. And this is all going to play out. But I can't tell you at the end. By telling you where we are at the end of the year is also a total guess. My point is, anybody dismissing him for all of those other reasons, I think you're missing what's right here in front of you right now. And that's why I think Chuck's words of inside track is a great way to put it. We'll take some calls. 8:15, Friday morning, 877-377-6963. Hey, let me tell you about something you can count on. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They can remodel. They can do an incredible job of turning a building around the way that you need it done, on time, on budget. When it comes to roofing or remodels, they're only using the best materials, and they've only got the best crews, certified crews, and a team that will communicate with you all the way through the process. Quality materials, certified crews, experts in difficult jobs. Log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com, teamworkbuilt.com for more info. Built on quality, powered by teamwork. Teamwork, roofing and construction. Chris in Fayetteville. You're on the news, weather, information station.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, we're full service, baby.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eyes. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at mcdonaldeye.com.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
When's the last time you wrote someone a handwritten note?
It's been a while, I have to admit. I mean, I've sent a lot of what I consider
birthday
to be
cards.
Meaningful texts, but I have.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bart and I got in an argument, and so we're kicking the lock segment to later in the show.
Yeah.
Because we got calls.
Yes.
Lane in Cave City. Love you, Bart. Some. Lane, good morning. Lane. Arthur in Vermont. Arthur, go ahead.
Hey, well, I want to say a few things about the game, but first, this whole nonsense about Petrino couldn't recruit. I guess Ryan Mallett and Jarius Wright, Joe Adams, Chris Childs, Chris Gregg, Beckett.
A bunch of those guys were in that first class that were already.
If you look
committed,
at his recruiting
fair.
classes, Bobby Petrino's recruiting classes at Arkansas, the percentage of guys who did not work out, who had zero impact at Arkansas or at the SEC level is so small.
Just stop.
Just
Listen,
give it a rest.
I don't.
I'm right. I'm no, Arthur. I'm right. I am right. Go look at it. Go look it up. I'm tired of this narrative. Go look it up. Go look it up. Do the research and then come back.
I did the research. You're telling me none of those guys were very good?
I said over half. Over
and then what
half.
about this ACC and then this Louisville thing? You only take the last year he was there, okay? We will take a 7-1 conference record. I don't know where you invent this. It's just crazy, dude. Anyway, Arkansas this week, I think if they can handle Texas A&M's defensive line, they got a shot. But they're not going to. There's no way the officials are going to let Arkansas walk out of there with a victory. At some point in time, if Arkansas gets a lead in the fourth quarter, they're going to pull a Tim Tebow and a bunch of phantom calls is going to come out. But anyway,
predicted
anyway,
official
the child in the room, you're not going
mess
to
up.
make the decision. He's coming here. He's going to be our coach. And just put that in your pipe and smoke
Okay,
it
well,
and, like,
shut
learn
the
how to
hell
deal
up.
with something
I'm
you
done
don't
with you.
control.
He called you a child, Bart. For crying out loud.
Get the hell out of here.
Did you hear him, Bart? He called you a child.
Wow. Can't we just not make it personal?
Jeez.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Golly, Arthur.
It's out of your hands, Bart. Just learn to accept something you can't control, young man.
Man, I mean, look.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
Bart,
my
he's so
goodness.
wound up. Oh, he's so wound up.
No, I mean that's ridiculous.
Well, Broke Keith is on the streets. Broke
Get
Keith
out of here,
on the streets. Good morning.
Hey, Big Keith up in the house. How you guys doing?
What's going on?
Hey, are the lights still on in your house? You hadn't won in a while.
I know. But I'm going to do it. I got you, bro. Hey, I can lose 10 times, and then if I win one, I'm still way ahead. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're saying,
It's
but
like
yes,
a
I hear
lottery
you.
practice, you know. So anyways.
I think what he's saying is he wins so big
Yes.
that he's got a lot of money to play with. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I gathered.
At least now that's what he said. It's unverified.
Yeah.
We do not have the
Yeah, I know.
authentication here.
I think we said the thing once, but that's all right. I didn't call about that, though.
Yeah, what'd you call about?
I was calling to say you guys need to bring it down a little bit, a little chill, because, you know, getting a little heated there. And I respect you, Bo, and I respect you guys. I like you guys. But the coach is not a head coach now, man. He's no longer good enough for a head coach. He can barely make it as an offensive coach. I mean, our offense was average. You know what I mean? It wasn't that good when he was calling the plays on offense. And I don't think he's going to – I think we should wait till the end of the year. But
what are you talking about? The offense isn't that good. It's the only chance they have in every game.
They're not good, bro.
Look at the
They're
numbers.
not that good.
But by the way, you're just so we're clear. You're saying that Petrino can't coach offense, and that's clear. That's what you're telling me.
He can, but he just ain't that good. He's just not average,
that good.
Or he's not good for SEC. Let's put it that way. You
Not
put
good
him
enough for the SEC.
You put him in a different conference. He might be a good coach. I mean,
Okay.
but he's not a head coach.
Who do you think? Who do you think would do better?
Right now, there's not anybody out there. Right now, I'm like Bo. Who else you going to choose? You know what I mean? There's nobody out there, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty crappy right now.
Right.
For
don't
coaches.
don't hire Petrino, but don't have any ideas either.
Well, you can't say it right now. You have to wait until the end of the year.
We only have today. That's what we have. The conversation is today.
Okay. All right. As of today, right this second, and there's no other coaches available.
He's the last coach on earth.
I mean,
it's easy to see why you go 14-1 and 15-team parlays. David and Cersei, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I dread it if Bobby Petrino is named the coach, because the awfulest whining and crying you have ever heard is going to come from these rednecks running around that do not know anything about character whatsoever. I was named after a man who wanted another man's wife so bad that he had her husband killed. And that's not biblical. A good thing. And you know what? That man had a great redemption. And my father chose to name me after a man who would
man
do
after
such a
God's
deed as
own
that.
heart, David.
That's exactly right. And let me tell you one thing. I believe this is going to come down to the
Is
way
your
I
wife
understand
named
it,
Bathsheba?
No, she was not. Thank you. But,
okay, all right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're correct, brother. You got it down. You
We just wanted to get the whole lesson in there.
The Bible and football, all in one call.
Right.
I mean, this is
Arkansas
Southern as it
at
gets,
its
baby.
best.
This is as SEC as it gets.
Arkansas as it gets.
Okay, I got 1 point. The way I understand it, there's at least two big money men in Arkansas that want Bobby Petrino. The way I understand it, we have an Arkansas alum who wants Rhett Lashley. I believe it's going to strictly come down to which man makes the best presentation and doles out the most money. I think that's who we're going to get. And if it comes down to Bobby Petrino, I think we're going to be in good hands. And if it goes the other way, I have confidence it'll be a good move also. But it's going to come down to who takes charge with the money.
Here's what's interesting. Like, first of all, I think if Rhett wanted the job, he could get the job. Secondly, the problem with that is they got a guy in the job right now. And I don't think anybody believes he's going to win out. But he's the only guy that has an opportunity to do that. So in some ways, regardless of the deck being stacked against him, if we were talking about a team, trying to make the playoffs, is it fair to say, Chuck, that he controls his own destiny?
Well, to an extent he does. To an extent. Now,
even though it's completely stacked against him, and that's kind of unfair to even look at it entirely that way. Because I think it has a lot more to do with all the factors, not just how many games they win the rest of the way. Like, can you raise money, and are you going to be able to get the things that you need to win in today's game? But when you hired him as the OC, you started this path.
Well,
and when you named him the interim coach, you started this path. You put him on the track in the inside lane.
Yes, and that's kind of the look. Anytime you have an interim coach, there are going to be people that want to keep him, and there are going to be people that don't want to keep him. And the people that don't want to keep Petrino right now, even they are going to say, yeah, he's got the inside track. If Arkansas beats Texas A&M tomorrow, he's the clear front runner. He's not just on the inside track anymore. He's the front runner. And I suspect that, whenever they win a game under him, and I'm assuming they will, that you're going to hear from people say, hire him today, make it official today. But I also think that it's incredible I'm saying this. I think Big Keith is right when he says you got to let it play out.
All right, Zach Gillum's coming up from Oaklawn Sports. We'll get into the games this weekend. Bart's locks are coming up. Hey, if you find yourself in a jam, you can have a team that will fight for you. They fight for Arkansans every day. That's Bill Reynolds and the attorneys at Cadell Reynolds. You can log on to CadellReynolds.com and get a free consultation. Maybe it's personal injury, struggling to get Social Security disability. Maybe it involves a car accident. Whatever it is, CadellReynolds.com. Go there, get a free consultation. Figure out what you can learn about your situation and how they can help. 866-314-3728. Cadell Reynolds, make the right call.
You can tell I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge.
Particularly in the South, I'm not sure there's a title that carries more weight than coach. Maybe preacher.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
going to be the first to get a Chuck and Bo tattoo? I mean, I think Chuck might do it.
No. You can have mine. You just get 2 of them.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Zach Gillum joining us, Oaklawn Sports, the VP of Oaklawn Racing and Wagering. And one of our great segments on Fridays is to visit with Zach about what's happening at the sports book. And Zach, here we go again.
A lot is happening.
Yeah. Happy Friday, by the way, Zach. Good morning.
Yeah. Happy Friday, guys. How's everybody doing?
Doing great.
Man.
How are you doing?
Yeah, that's the real question.
Yeah, no, doing wonderful. Approaching racing season. We're in the middle of football season. Hockey's underway. NBA starts Tuesday. F1 in Austin. So I don't know how you could ask for more.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's we go through these little dead periods. It's certainly not that right now. And we got Arkansas A&M, another bit of a surprise for me. The line opening at 7.5. Where is it today? Where's the action been?
Yeah, so the line is still 7.5, and we opened at 7. It moved to 7.5 pretty quick. And the action at 7 was A&M. The action on the money line is A&M. But once we got to 7.5, we started to see that mixed action. So right now it's really coming about 50-50 on Arkansas and Texas A&M when you look at that 7.5 number.
What makes it a tighter game than maybe some of us would think coming into it, given the season we've seen from A&M, how they went to Notre Dame and won. Notre Dame came in here and won the way they did. What makes the line as tight as it is?
I think there's a few factors there. I think last week Arkansas did surprise some people going up to Tennessee as a double-digit underdog and only losing by 3, battled back, didn't give up. And, the offense has been powerful all year. We've had some issues turning the ball over, but overall we've been able to score points. Now, I feel like this week's kind of a week of what's to give because Texas A&M has also had a very strong defense this year. And you can tell in the total people are taking that under. It was at 61.5 earlier in the week. It has dropped down to 59.5. So I think that's one of the has been a better defensive team than an offensive team. Arkansas is a good offensive team. So I think it's really going to be a battle of can we not turn over that ball. We know we have the power to move it. We just can't turn it over.
Chuck, I wonder, just along those lines about the under, if Petrino is part of his game plan to try to win the game or be in it in the fourth quarter to try to keep the ball.
No question.
You know what I mean? Run the ball, not worry about trying to be too explosive too often. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what other games aside from the Razorbacks? What are the other games this weekend that are getting everybody fired up?
Yeah, so there are some really good ones, especially across the SEC. So you have number 10 LSU headed to number 17 Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt is a favorite, and not only a favorite, the line's moving in their direction. So it was 2.5 most of the week. Vanderbilt now a 3-point favorite hosting LSU, total in that one at 49. And the action we are bringing in has been on the Tigers. So the action 49. Coming in on LSU, yes, and that was even at the 2.5. So I expect 3. It's going to be even more action coming on those Tigers.
Total of 49.
That's unbelievable.
Wow. Ole Miss, Georgia.
Yeah, another phenomenal game there. Top 10 matchup. Ole Miss ranked number 5 currently. They're headed to Athens. So this is in Georgia. Georgia favored by over a touchdown. I think this was a line that had me a little surprised. I expected it to be under a touchdown. Maybe I'm wrong here. Georgia will prove the line makers to be more correct than me. But Georgia favored by 7.5 points. Ole Miss will have a chance to prove themselves. Total is this at 56.5.
What's the action looking like on that? I'm just curious.
That one's pretty mixed. I'm seeing action come both ways, and really what's great with Oaklawn Sports is you have the alternate line option, so you can move that line around, and it's not uncommon when you get around those key numbers like 7, a touchdown in football, or a touchdown in a PAT, people will start to move it around. So if you look at plus 7.5, it's a little bit more Ole Miss. If you look at 7, it's very mixed. If you look at minus 6.5, it's on Georgia.
Zach Gillum, Oaklawn Sports. Zach, any prop bets up yet for the Arkansas A&M game?
There are. You have some touchdown scoring props up. So Mike Washington, anytime touchdown scorer, he's currently minus 127. Braylon Russell, plus 180. And Taylon Green is plus 105. Just keep in mind with Taylon on this market, he would either have to run it in or catch a pass from someone else throwing. Good news is he's pretty good with those legs. So not too out of his wheelhouse to be able to do that. There are some anytime touchdown scores for the Texas A&M players as well. I'm not going to read through those. And then you have player passing. Currently, Taylon Green's passing total is at 236.5. On the rushing side of things, Mike Washington at 59.5. Kalen Green at 53.5. And last week, we had a lot of people inquire about Braylon Russell's rushing total. That did hit the board. It was just closer to game time. So I would say check back either later this afternoon or check back tomorrow morning, and I would not be shocked to see these options greatly grow. Team total right now, Arkansas at 25.5, A&M at 34.5.
Zach, good stuff. All right, what else is going on at Oaklawn? You mentioned it a little bit in the open here, but what do we have to look forward to if we're making our way to Hot Springs?
Yeah, so a lot going on. We got a couple weeks from now. Horses will be on the grounds. We will start training in about 2 weeks. We have Breeders' Cup coming up at the end of this month, which is on Halloween, October 31st, and then November 1st. And some other great games. I feel like I'll catch something if I don't say this one. Tennessee and Alabama. Obviously, we just played Tennessee.
Yeah.
And this is another line that is maybe a little bigger than people would have thought. Maybe not. Alabama currently favored by 8.5 points. This was down around 7.5 most of the week, so it's really moving in favor of Alabama, and that's where we're seeing the action as well.
Yeah, probably because the Arkansas game was close with Tennessee.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great stuff, Zach. We look forward to doing it again next week. What you guys do at Oaklawn is just absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't been to Oaklawn lately, you haven't been there. The resort experience, the spa experience, the Forbes 4-star spa, the restaurants, the sports book. What a great way to spend a Saturday, man. If you're in the area and you want to watch games all day, Oaklawn.com. Get all the details. Events coming up there as well. Zach, we'll do it again next Friday. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely. You guys have a great weekend as well.
Zach Gillum, the Oaklawn Vice President of Racing and Wagering here on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, this fall, don't just pay for a heating tune-up. Make it part of a Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric membership and get year-round benefits for your home for as little as $8.99 a month. We talk about Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric a lot. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. $8.99 a month. Your annual tune-up is included. Members get exclusive discounts on air, plumbing, and electric services. So don't wait until there's a problem. Protect your home now. Protect your budget now. Give yourself some peace of mind. You can do it all at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Log on to GoPascal.com.
People have been waiting all week, and the moment is next for Bart's Locks. Set your recorders, your recording devices, your voice memo, whatever. Get your pen out, whatever you got to do.
Gather around the radio.
We'll post it later on social, but we know you want it now. Bart's Locks, and some calls coming up next. Chuck has a little bit of a bad habit of getting on Facebook and buying things.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, there's nothing like a perfect steak. So tender, juicy, and packed with flavor. And now, thanks to Plainview Beef, it's clean with no hidden chemicals. Plainview Beef feeds their cattle with wheatgrass sprouts, and their beef is loaded with nutrients your body needs. I'm telling you, you gotta try it. PlainviewBeef.com. Order direct to your house. Check out their menu, which includes 6 8-ounce fillets for just $99. Again, it's PlainviewBeef.com. Use the promo code Chuck and Bo and get a free 12-pack of beef sticks. PlainviewBeef.com.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hog Trough Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hog Trough, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party, or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
So I spent yesterday. You don't mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Certainly caught gambling fever over the last 11 minutes. I mean, we've opened the show, and 11 minutes later, Bart's running down to
Bart's
Maverick.
hands are shaking.
I mean, they are. He's got a raffle.
ready to
We've
go.
morphed into lottery tickets. I mean, he's going crazy.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's a watch brought to you by Macadoodles, and all we're watching are Bart's Locks.
Finally, we're here.
Macadoodles, 15% off every bottle of wine on Wednesday. It's Wine Down Wednesdays. The best selection, the best customer service, competitive pricing. There's no experience like Macadoodles. If you're getting ready for a watch party, that's the place to go. Just north of the state line, north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville. Bart, let's go.
Bart's Locks.
Yeah, baby.
We've been waiting all week. You gave the whole schedule out on Monday at Big Creek Country Club to a handful of people who are going to make a bunch of money this weekend.
So tell the rest of us now.
But what do you have? You had 6 locks yesterday that you were contemplating.
Yeah, and I've got some other things that aren't on the 3-game card here that I like that I'll get to at the end of the segment here. Just some bonus picks.
Well, let's go. We got callers that we're hoping to get to.
Trio of SEC games this weekend. We're going to start with Oklahoma at South Carolina. The Sooners favored by 5.5 points. Brent Venables 1-7 in his last 8 games against Power 4 opponents in the months of October and November. This is going to be a low-scoring game. South Carolina forces a lot of turnovers. If you let them, John Mateer is going to throw you the ball. He's had teams drop a bunch of picks on him this year. Texas didn't do it. I'm still not sure he's fully healthy. I'm not sure he's as good as everybody thought he is. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. South Carolina's going to force some turnovers. If it's a low-scoring game, it's a close game, I'm taking the underdog. Give me the Gamecocks plus 5.5 in Columbia.
All right.
Missouri going on the road to the Plains, take on Auburn. Missouri, a 1.5-point favorite, short favorite there. Auburn, 5-14 in SEC play under Hugh Freeze. That's pretty bad. The last 15 years, there have been 13 teams, 5-1 or better, that have gone on the road against a team with a losing record and only been favored by a field goal or less. Those teams, 10-3. People may say this is a letdown spot for Mizzou. They gave a great effort after, in the close loss to Alabama at home. Sure, understand that mindset. But every week is a letdown spot for Auburn under Hugh Freeze. So give me the Tigers minus 1.5. The Missouri Tigers minus 1.5. And lastly,
he loves Hugh Freeze.
Vanderbilt and LSU. The Commodores now at 3. It was 2.5. It has since moved this morning to 3. The Commodores a 3-point favorite over LSU. Like, shocking number to see. Shocking, because since 1978, this is the first time Vandy's favored against a ranked opponent. The first time since 1978.
Wow.
Just the 5th ranked matchup for the Doors since then. Here's the deal, though.
Don't you love them?
I do.
LSU's offense just isn't right, man. It just hasn't looked right all season. Something's wrong. Is Nussmeier really healthy? They got issues.
Something's wrong.
Brian Kelly always finds a way to screw it up.
Hugh Freeze,
and
Brian Kelly.
Here it is. This is the screw it up. LSU's about to lose 3 straight games. When you look at their schedule, they've got Vanderbilt,
got such a bleep list.
Texas A&M, Alabama, 3 straight weeks. They're going to lose all 3 of those games. Give me the Doors minus 3.
Yeah. I love that
Cover
Bart's
the
picking
spread.
games people care about this year.
Finally.
Yeah.
Bart, I think you're betting with your
so
heart
good.
right there, man. I think you're betting with your heart on
I'm
that
so
LSU
sorry to
Vanderbilt
the callers.
thing.
I'm so sorry. We can't go away from the segment.
No.
Give us the bonus picks. We're out of time.
I mean,
Georgia Tech plus 1 at Duke is one I like. I like Utah minus 3.5 at BYU in the Holy War. Texas Tech minus 7 at Arizona State. Looks like Sam Leavitt's going to be back for the Sun Devils. I don't think it matters. Texas Tech is just rolling through the Big 12. And then Notre Dame USC, the total there, 61. I like that to go over. I think there are going to be a lot of points put on the board there.
I really apologize. I really wanted to hear from Sterling.
Yeah.
I mean, Sterling, you got 30 seconds. I know it's not
Bart
much,
just steals
but I
the
want to hear your
show.
voice.
Bart just
Sterling,
steals the show.
Sterling, you there? I already told
Yeah, I'm
you.
here. Y'all
So
guys have a great weekend.
It's great to hear your voice, man.
Thank you,
we miss
Sterling.
you. Let's talk about things on Monday. You cool with that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We appreciate you, man. That was
Sterling's going to make so
soul-getting.
much money off Bart's picks.
Yeah. I mean, who's not? Who's not? We'll do it again on Monday, I think.
We've got golf a week from today again. Is
Yes,
that right?
that's
Fayetteville
right.
Country
Fayetteville
Club,
Country
Breaking
Club,
Bart.
Breaking
Okay.
Bart, and the full video with Bart mic'd up and, the highlights and lowlights of the round. Must-see television will be posted to YouTube, or I'm sure early next week. I mean, Bart, what a week it's been for you. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville.